What's good, fam? It's your boy Jorge. Welcome to another episode of Hanging with the Boys. I'm sicker than a broke dick dog right now.
That sucks, bro.
Well, not right now. I was.
Yeah.
But I figured if our boy Don Trump can take one in the ear, I could muster up the courage and come out and put on a show this week.
Yeah, why not? Right?
Yeah. All I gotta say is, America, you've lied to us. Of course, we're going to talk about the biggest news probably in the last 30 years that somehow is not the biggest news at all. Have you seen much about it?
Yes.
Donald?
Yes.
I think we also should change his name from Donald to Don, because that's a man right there.
Donnie?
Don Trump.
Yeah.
If you get shot,
Like rebrand? Kind of
Yeah.
like a whole rebrand?
like if you go by Bobby and you're like 40 years old and
Yeah.
you get shot, like you drop that and you're Bob. There's no way we're calling you Bobby no more.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because I think even his son is Don Jr.
Right.
So even his son is like more of a man than he is. He's going by Donald still,
Yeah.
But now, no, there's no way. Now we call him Don Trump.
Crazy, dude.
Took one of the year. Ketchup packet, perhaps. Who knows? But there was a time where I believed, at least, I would hope other people had my same opinions as me, but I believe that there's a lot of things that couldn't happen here in the United States.
Right.
This is basically based on sci-fi movies that I watch. But they make them so good and believable that you're like, hey, this is never going to happen.
Right.
There was a time where movies came out and they took over the White House in 60 seconds. And you're like, dude, that can never happen.
Right.
Then, when was it? January 6th, 2021?
Yeah.
The best America has to offer breached the Senate or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Capitol Hill there?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
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 Best
Capitol Police is what
Yeah.
it was.
Well, it's the United States government, They breached. They were in there playing hacky sack with Nancy Pelosi's nipples,
Yeah.
slapping AOC around,
Doing whatever.
doing whatever. And I was like, damn, that's not a good look.
No.
If
That was a bad day.
the shaman can do it just like that easy, maybe some other countries could too. Then assassinations have happened before. Attempts have happened before. And assassinations actually happen a lot in other countries. Like a lot of other leaders get murked out there. Hasn't really happened here in a long time. I think since Reagan. Last time someone was attempted.
Well, there's been a couple of attempts, not necessarily in the U.S., but on presidents. Like I think Bush Jr.
Okay.
actually had a grenade thrown at him and it didn't go off.
Oh, dang.
They were, I forget where they were, but they weren't in the
Yeah.
U.S. when that happened.
Okay. So, but here in the U.S., it hasn't happened. And I think it's because other countries have seen movies. And they know that we're not one to fuck with.
We will prevail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
July, whatever date it was now. I already forgot because I've been sick. Remember that?
Was it the 16th? What's today?
I don't know.
No.
It was this
It
weekend.
was last Saturday.
Yeah, it was this past Saturday. Donald, his name J. Donald
Yeah.
J. Trump,
Correct.
former president of the United States, gets an attempt on him. Gets blasted in the air. Unbelievable.
The circumstances in which it happened is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's... yeah, the craziest thing is whether you believe it's fake or it was real. Both of that is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, the whole circumstance, like the fact that it happened is like shocking.
Yeah.
And then,
But the fact...
if you look at the lineup, now I've had some things because I'll watch some news and see little tidbits here and there and kind of get some information. And then I'll see people that I social media, it's just one of those things, even things that I trust on like Instagram, like there's like Roca News, Ground News, which Ground News is well known for breaking down the political story from both sides of the aisle, you know? I just see small, different little details in each story. And I'm like, well, which one is it? That can't be all of them.
Yeah.
Can't be two, even two of these. It has to be one of the three I've seen.
Yeah. But I will say, though, if he actually was assassinated, it'd be a lot less mind-blowing than what actually happened.
Pun intended? I don't know.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, that would not be a shocker.
That someone wanted to kill him?
That it actually happened, you know? But the attempt and how it happened and everything, it's just more like, dude, how's that even possible?
Right.
But, yeah, a lot of the news stories I saw were like, oh, Trump falls and hits his ear or something like that, at first. And then now you don't really see much about it. And then like of the person who did it, I've only seen a few little things here and there about it or about the person, and it's like, wow.
You got any takes on that? Do you want to believe anything? Or?
Dude, I don't know.
There's so many failures. I'm just like, on even the shooter's part. Like,
well, dude, that's not a shooter.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, but
that dude was a school shooter.
I think he hit it on the head.
Yeah, that dude's a school shooter.
I was reserving that comment for after you gave yours, but that's totally my take on this whole thing. This is that kid's school shooting. Yeah. Like I don't think there was any political motivation. I just think he fucking hated the world and was like, how do I get on the biggest stage possible? And somehow or another, even though he was marked 30 minutes out as suspicious, he didn't have a gun or anything at that point. I think he was just walking around.
Oh, he had a golf
rangefinder, which is even more bizarre. I don't know if you know anything about guns. An AR-15 at 100 yards, you're fine. Just put them in the target. You're good to go. Which is another one of those mind-blowing things. I don't know. I guess he turned his head, but
I guess it hit someone too. The guy that it killed.
Well, he took like 8 shots or something.
The guy?
Yeah. I don't know how many shots total, but he took more than one shot. So that's where like these.
Yeah,
these
but I think maybe the one that, well, once again, and not to take, I know this person died and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So not to take anything away from that, but they always try to make someone like the hero. And in that sense, I think they're also trying to mask something. So it's like, let's focus on this hero.
Yeah.
When was it really? Because they're saying now like the bullet that grazed him probably hit the guy first.
I don't know, because they said the guy that died was trying to shield his daughter and wife, and if it's the first gunshot, which that's the one that hit Trump, there's no time to react. You don't go, oh, a bullet's incoming, I'm going to do this. So I think
that was like the second one that hit him, because there's a photographer that captured a bullet passing by him before.
Oh, okay.
So that
makes more sense.
Yeah, there was like one bullet that went by, and then I think the one that hit him, because he even said he heard like a whistling go past his ear.
Yeah. Well, through his ear, maybe.
And then the other one actually hit his ear, I think.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they're trying to say is that there was like grandstands. So you see the ones behind him, and the shooter was obviously on the side of him.
Yeah.
And then there was other ones that were going to the side, kind of like this. And the guy was standing on the side there, and it looked like it by this graph that I saw, that direct sight, which also doesn't make sense, from the roof. The guy shot and the guy's standing there, so it probably went through him and hit Trump. So it probably deflected off of him and didn't hit
you're
Trump.
saying it hit him first?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
But also, yeah, this guy's a 20-year-old kid that doesn't know. I don't know. I really doubt he knows how to shoot and stuff. But anyone with any common sense or knows what they're doing, they're probably not going to shoot when the guy is standing right in front of your target. In my opinion.
Yeah.
But this guy wasn't a professional. So
yeah. Like I said, I after looking at everything that's there, I think like the Secret Service had some huge gaffes. The police force had some huge gaffes. I'm sure you've seen the video where people are like alerting the police officers. There's a dude on that roof with a rifle. Have you seen that? Like 2 minutes before he actually took his first shot.
No, I only saw the video of the guy explaining that whole situation, but never the actual video. So there's actual video of it?
Yeah. It's
but they never showed the guy.
It's all over the internet. Like the shooter? No, you can see him. Like the guy is like, it's like someone's recording on video and like they're like this and like what? And then they pan over and you can see the guy on the roof and they're yelling to a police officer like there's a dude on the roof with a gun, like 2 minutes before he shot.
Yeah.
And then the other report is that the sniper that shot him saw him 1 to 2 minutes before he actually shot as well, and let him know, hey, there's a guy on this roof with a gun. He was told don't take a shot, and then once to get the kid shot, then he killed him, and then he was fired.
Yeah, and what's that tell you?
I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't know.
But
it all seems suspicious, but at the same time, if they were trying to make, like, if we're going to go in a conspiracy world, I really think there would have been a lot more background behind this kid to not just say, well, he's a registered Republican. He possibly most likely donated to a Democrat $15. And that's all they can find. They would have all kinds of shit.
Is it a BlackRock commercial?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There would be a lot of stuff there that they put out, you know? So I'm like, well, it's most likely not that. I just think this is one of those loner kids that wanted to, like, he would have done a school shooting, but he was like, oh, let's take it up a notch.
But dude, I can't even get to like a play in Reno with a pocket knife in my pocket. And this kid can get in.
I've been there with you. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that it just doesn't make sense at all. So,
well, because they were outside of the rally, because there's like, you know, fences and bleachers and stuff.
Dude, it doesn't matter.
And then he climbs up on top of the building that the police are stationed in.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter that he's outside of the rally. Like, Secret Service should be all around that. It shouldn't matter.
Right.
There's a guy.
Well, yeah, and if you look at I mean, it is weird because if you look at the layout, there's only 3 buildings close to them, and the snipers are on 2 of them.
Yeah.
That leaves 1 open building, which the police officers are in, 115 to 150 yards away, which is not a long shot at all for anyone.
And like I was saying, like in every movie that we see, and that's, you know, kind of the joke I was making at the very beginning. In every movie we see, it's like there's snipers on every single rooftop.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, you always see the guy in the building way back inside hiding under something or whatever, like on a table. Like, you don't see him on a rooftop because that's where all the police are. Like, the members are. Like, you're not going to just be on the roof by yourself with a gun able to shoot at a president.
I don't know, man. I've seen so much stuff. Like, I don't know. I've seen that, you know, the Secret Service director said, oh, we didn't put anyone on that roof because it was too sloped.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if this is true or not because I didn't see it. I've seen some of her interview.
And then I saw a meme.
But the roof wasn't that sloped, and the roof that the snipers were on were far more sloped than that. So,
but then I saw a meme that showed a cow on a barn with a roof that was sloped. And we're like, hey, yeah, but it's a little too sloped, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's funny. So I don't know what to make of it. My real thoughts are that it was just a random kid looking for attention that was like, well, this is the way I'm going to go out. So
my thought on that is like, it's just it worked out perfectly for him though. Like, the balls that kid had to even try that, because anyone else tries that, they get arrested.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that 20-year-old kid with like probably no gun experience, enough to like be able to shoot the gun.
Yeah, I mean, this is his dad's gun, and he's taken it out to the range before, so.
But you know what I'm saying? It's not a professional.
Right.
You know, and no, like he was just able to do everything probably how he thought, which was like the weakest little plan.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
It's like, hey, I'm going to just climb that roof right there. Also, there's a water tower like kind of by them.
Right.
You know, put a sniper on there. They could see. I mean, the other sniper saw him anyways. But let me just climb that roof. I'm going to like sit there and shoot the president. And I'm going to be fine. And it worked out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he got killed, but.
Yeah. His plan would have been carried out if
he was a better shot.
Or something, yeah. I don't know.
So it leads you to believe, like, the only thing you can believe is like conspiracy stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah,
but
on either side, like, was it staged
on
Don's part, or was it actual like a hit inside job by the Secret Service, or you know, just some kid that was crazy?
Yeah,
but yeah, it's some kid that was crazy, but also the Secret Service didn't do themselves any justice there.
No, they didn't.
By the way they did that. Like, I could have operated that better.
Yeah. And I think you can go on and look at that. I think it's an X post or something by the sniper. And he was like, I was calling it. There's a guy on the roof with a gun. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. And
I would have just shot.
Well, he did, obviously, after the kid engaged, but he was like, all right, well.
Yeah, but one person died and then another one was injured, right?
Yeah, I think there's like 2 in critical condition and 1 died.
Yeah.
So. Whatever.
Yeah. But say it is...
it's a sad day either way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a... but say it is on Don's part. It's magical, dude. It's
There's no way it's on Don's part. Like, how could you take a bullet to, like, you can't shoot, like, you could shoot pretty close, but not at the point where, like, if they looked at it and he just turned his head just as the kid shot. Bullet. Do you think it was fake?
That's what I'm saying. But they got on Don's part.
But they got a photo with a bullet in the photo.
Yeah, it's called Photoshop.
All right, well, whatever.
Or, that kid was actually good and didn't really aim at him. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if it was, because they, they try to do everything to get him out of the race.
Right.
To get him in prison. The guy's a felon now.
Right. And
still running for president and is probably going to win.
Could be. Could happen.
Before this happened.
Right.
And then all of a sudden this happens. And now I think his chances of winning are even higher than before it happened.
Right.
So now he's looked at as a stronger leader and everything. So it's like...
His reaction was pretty, badass if you look
at it. Well, that's the thing, like, too. Like,
holy shit.
Everyone's saying, well, I mean, he got shot in the ear. I mean, let's be real here.
Yeah, but... No, I mean, that's legit that he had the wherewithal when that was happening to be like, hey, back off me real quick.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what they're all saying, too. Like, Secret Service wouldn't do that. Secret Service, their whole job is to cover you. So they're not going to just...
Did you see the photos of some of the Secret Service agents hiding behind the
all I know is 2 of them were like women.
Yeah. But, one of the women, at least one of them, was like cowering down behind while everyone else is dogpiled on the president. It's like, well...
But I think their job is to secure him regardless because there's an active shooter.
Right.
So they're not gonna just like, hey, let's wait so he can fist pump and get this photo op.
Yeah.
That's not what they're supposed to be doing. So once again, we're saying that they didn't do their job. So maybe that was legit. Like,
yeah, I've heard criticism basically on the way they got him to the car wasn't how it was supposed to. I was like, well, I don't know how that shit's supposed to work, but
yeah,
I was like, well, it looked like they were trying to.
But yeah, but you don't stop when there's an active shooter and let the guy, he just got grazed.
Yeah.
So you let him expose himself even more for some extra seconds to fist pump.
Yeah. Well, they were on the ground for a bit. So like a bit,
and I did
hear
5
that, seconds or
I
something.
did hear that they, over the radio, it said like shoot her down or whatever.
Right.
But they don't know how many shooters there are.
Right.
So lack of, I think
on the other side of things, how's Biden?
I think Biden actually should have done this for himself. Imagine, so roles are reversed.
Yeah.
He gets shot and he gets up and he's all, yeah. And everyone's like, damn, maybe he's not as old and stupid as we think he is.
Right. Right.
He's actually a strong president. So that would have worked out for him too.
So next week he's going to get shot.
Yeah, he needs to get shot like in the knee.
No, but I don't know, man. This will be a race till the end, I think, because my bet's on, I mean, I'm not going to say my bet, but, and Lord forbid anything happen to him, but based on the Clinton Foundation, I wouldn't be surprised if he dies of natural causes before the election.
I don't think so. I think from what I've been seeing, a lot of people that were supporting him are actually saying like, hey, you need to fucking beat it.
That's what I'm saying. He's not beating it. So they're going to be like,
Yeah, but I think eventually he will.
Think so?
Yeah. And also like right now, supposedly he has COVID. So he didn't do like the Las Vegas tour that he was supposed to do or something like that. And, a lot of people are pointing out that he said like if he had some type of medical condition that he would drop out of the race. And people are like, see, it's coming. And it's like, well, he doesn't have a medical condition.
Well, yeah, that's something totally different. Yeah, however, COVID, I think, first off, who still fucking tests for COVID? Apparently the president.
Yeah.
And if there's a serious risk from COVID, it's actually for people that are like 80 years old.
Yeah. So he could probably die from it.
Yeah.
But he's probably going to be taking what Joe Rogan took that he got
ivermectin or whatever. Yeah.
Criticized for. So.
Well, that was a whole nother thing. Like, everyone's flipped the script on that. Even like CNN anchors.
Yeah.
I think what's his name? Is it Chris Cuomo?
Yeah.
has now come out and been like, yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah,
I'm on it. Yeah, I'm like, wow. He was one of the guys that was screaming at on a broadcast telling people that they're going to get people killed and you're idiots and this and that. Meanwhile, doctors are prescribing it to people. Oh my God.
You know how it is when your life's on the line, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll try it. You know, but yeah, so I think he's going to have a lot of pressure on him. My thing is like, who do they get?
Well, Kamala Harris would be probably the front runner.
But I feel like people would rather vote. Even the people that are like bummed out on Joe. And they're like, you know, come on, man.
Yeah.
They're probably like, we'd rather vote for Joe than
well, here's the thing, though. Like, I've thought about, you know, and I don't know all the players in the game. So there's that. But the thing that they could do, no matter who they replace it with, but potentially Kamala Harris, they could look at her and be like, hey, all these failings were Joe's fault. Here's what we're going to do different. You know, it's just a blame game. And now you have a woman running, which would be the first woman president, non-white, which is a huge thing, especially for that political party.
But that doesn't change the fact that she's not likable.
Yeah, but people that are like hardcore Democrats are just going to vote that way, right? Same with Republicans. Like, no matter who's in there, they're just going to vote that way. So it's kind of like that middle of the road thing where they got to persuade a little bit. And you saw what happened with Obama, right? So you got to like, first African-American president, and he's very charismatic, right? That dude knows how to talk. And they had a big turnout just because there was a huge turnout just because people wanted to get the first black man in office, right?
Yeah, but that's been done.
But now we got a black woman.
But they don't care about that.
Okay, well.
I think it's the opposite. They're like,
then they're sexist.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, basically anyone else that they could put up there is going to be like, oh, this was all Joe's thing. This is, you know, we're going to fix this.
Yeah. The problem is I think a lot of people are like getting woken up to the fact that like we all know. It's funny that, you know, Mr. Beast came out on Twitter saying like, I'd run for president, you know. I think he's like in 15 years when I'm old enough, you know, and stuff like that. And he like basically was saying like what he would do. Mm-hmm. And on a nice, pretty day, we all would say that. But once you're actually...
That would be a disaster, I feel like.
No, because other people run.
Yeah.
You do what other people tell you.
Well,
and we kind of are learning this now. And it's a lot more open to the public knowledge that Joe's not really running the country. Yeah. You know.
Well, Gavin Newsom would be another person that would be up there. Originally, they wanted to get... there was some talk about... Obama.
Michelle.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, she said no. But
yeah, if she said yes, they would have a serious chance at winning.
Yeah, that would have been actually a little bit better than Kamala. Yeah. But my point being, like, it doesn't really matter who gets in there. Like, they could say, like, well, that's all Joe's fault. But, like, we kind of know, like, well, how's that Joe's fault when everyone was saying Joe's not running the country? Right. The people behind him are.
Right.
So, no, you can't say that was all Joe's fault and then put Kamala in there. It was the people that are behind you guys running the shit.
Right.
You know, same with Trump.
Well, voters, especially if you even write these things down week to week, things that are going on, you'll see how they just go in a cycle and they backtrack and they do this. And it's just like, it's almost as if people don't either news broadcasts are dumb enough to think that everyone that's not paying attention, which is unlikely based on voter turnout, or they just, no one cares up until the last minute. Like, what's the most recent thing that's happened? And then that's what's going to, you know, make a decision on where people are voting. And like,
dude, all I know is like, I've been saying this since Trump's last term, that they need to focus on getting real candidates out.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they focus.
And I think that's why like Trump's VP pick is kind of important because it's like fresh blood. He hasn't been in there for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, aging away. He's a millennial.
Yeah. Or even that Vivek guy.
Did you see his little speech?
No.
Dude, that guy could talk.
Oh, well, is that what we need? We need a talker?
Well, I mean, he could talk in a very persuasive way. Like, he presents himself extremely well. He's not Trump where he's like, I'm the best. Well, no one's going to outdo me.
But that's the criticism that everyone had about Obama.
Yeah.
Well, that guy can talk, but what did he do? Nothing. You know?
Well, yeah, but he presents himself like a professional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Joe can't talk worth of shit. Trump just talks about himself. This guy's like, you know, he's a conservative. So wherever that puts him, in your eyes, whatever. But he talks very well, and when we have all these politicians in the limelight that can't seem to put two sentences together.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's the important thing. That's what they should have been building since Trump was in office, because Trump was hated.
Yeah.
Well,
he still is.
Yeah. And then Biden is Biden, so it's like, these are the best two candidates these two parties can provide for us.
Right.
Us being the American people, like, that's what we get. And then we got to go fucking.
Well, don't forget we had primaries. So like everyone put Trump in office.
I know.
Like, or at least as the running.
That's what I'm saying. They couldn't build someone else up to like be better than Trump, be better than Biden.
Right.
For us to like vote for them, and it just blows my mind. So now I'm excited for after the next 4 years, whatever happens at the end of the year, to actually get new people in there, and hopefully this whole like division of the country ends with like, because they hate the people. It's not really Trump could do a lot of great things, but they hate Trump, so it doesn't matter.
I hope you're right. I don't feel that.
What I'm saying?
I hope you're right. I don't feel that way. I feel like whatever side you're on, whatever camp is out there, and that news media is just this is just going to continue.
Right.
So the next person's going to be a villain, right?
Yeah.
The next person's Hitler, or the next Mussolini or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, after what just happened, we probably fucking tone it down a bit. Yeah.
And I feel like hopefully after the next 4 years, we can get some new candidates in there, and people will be like, oh, this guy's a likable guy.
Yeah.
So there's not that so much. We're not going to vote for him. We're only voting for the other guy because we hate this guy so much.
Right.
It's not going to be that. We're going to vote for the best president this time, And I think Joe Biden was voted because everyone hated Trump.
Yeah.
So the people that...
Don't forget, there was still a shocker that Hillary didn't win 2016. Like, everyone was like... I was like, well, I'm pretty sure this is over. I don't even think I started watching the election. I just went to bed knowing, oh, Hillary Clinton's going to be our president tomorrow.
Yeah, she went from fist pumping to punch in the air.
Yeah.
She went to bed fist pumping and then woke up punching there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to say that Trump was more liked than Hillary is a pretty big statement.
I think it was just the kind of the infatuation. It was like a sexy thing, like what could happen with this guy? Because, people just didn't like Hillary.
Yeah.
And some people did. I think she would have been a better first female president than Kamala.
Yeah, at least she had some wits about her.
Yeah, so, that's to be said. But I think, this last election, people were like, well, we don't like either of the guys, but we hate this guy, so we're going to vote for this guy. Right. And there was the people that were like undecided, I think were more on that voting terms. And I think in 4 years, I hope we have better candidates where everyone's like, okay, let's focus on the issues and who can do something better for us, not like who we hate.
Right.
Hopefully.
I haven't followed. I've seen a lot of the nominees for VP on the Republican side, and maybe I just haven't come up too much on the Democrat side because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are there, So, but I've seen a lot of like younger people. You got Vance, you got Vivek, you got Tulsi Gabbard is someone that I kind of was interested in seeing Trump.
The Hawaiian chick?
No. She was, I forget what state she represented. She was a Democrat up until like 2 years ago, and she's like, this is too much for me. You guys have lost your fucking minds. And she's now,
I think she is a Hawaiian.
I think she is she?
But I don't think she's running anymore. She was.
Well, yeah, she was trying to. I think she was. I don't remember if she was running for president, and obviously that didn't go very far. And then she said, she publicly said, hey, I'm ready for the call for VP if it's there, you know. The reason I don't think that she represented Hawaii is I guess it could be. Hawaii is notoriously like deep blue state. Mm-hmm. So,
I have a question. I don't know if you know the answer, but you're president.
Mm-hmm.
You're rerunning. Can you tell your VP to beat it and get someone else second time? Or is that just kind of a weird thing?
I think you could, but I think it would just be a really weird situation, and it would kind of put doubt in people's minds. I don't know for sure. one way or the other. Just like, well, that's just like the question of, can Joe Biden really step out of the race? Because like Nevada, there's a couple states, Nevada's one of them, that says the president cannot, whoever was elected or like, was elected by the people to run as their presidential candidate.
Yeah.
They have to be in the race. And I'm sure, of course, this is like words of people that I know. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm sure there's some like asterisk in there that says, well, if he's got dementia and is medically inept in some sort,
or he dies,
he can be replaced.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just saying, like, say like you got Kamala,
yeah,
and say like Vivek was on that side. He's pretty charismatic dude. He seems like a good dude, whatever. What if Joe was like, hey, I want that guy this time?
Right. I don't know. That's a good question. I would imagine that he could, but I don't think politically it would be a smart move to be like, well, I'm going to replace my VP.
Unless the VP is like old and sick or something too. But Kamala's she's pretty good still.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what. What's his name? Biden.
Yeah.
Drop the mortgage rates, and you got my vote.
Well, he's completely relying on the feds, the Federal Reserve, to do that. So they're totally independent. But from my understanding, there should be some influence there. But
hey, I got.
Well, I mean, there is some influence there. When Trump was in, he was just bashing on Powell constantly. I was like, oh my god, dude. But now he's just kind of put it like, I think, and it might be a smart move by Biden to be like, it's up to them. This is not me.
They need to do that. Get some of us happy.
Yeah, the mortgage rates are not very favorable right now. I mean, they've come down a little bit.
But. Yeah. They're low 7s, maybe high 6s right now.
Yeah.
I need them to drop.
The good news is I don't think they're going to go any higher. Things have kind of leveled off, so I think you're pretty comfortable there. But I think they were hinting at maybe a rate decrease in the next quarter or so.
Yeah, I need rates to drop by September.
Yeah, down to 3%, please.
I mean, I'll take 5.
Okay.
And then I'll refinance when.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, let's get off the.
All right. Yeah. Sorry to bore you guys.
Two clowns.
It just is such a big piece of our lives at this point. It's just like it's everywhere. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, actually, it's not, and that's why we're out here giving you the news, because it is crazy that a ex-president, recently running president for the election this year, is almost 50 Senate, and
number 4 or 5 almost got the 4 or 5.
Yeah,
I guess he didn't use a 45.
No, but it's all right. This is a good analogy. But there's not much news about it.
Never in a million years would I have thought some kid could just crawl on the roof and take a shot.
Yeah. So we could get that one off the list
from 100 and something yards away.
Storm the Capitol. Easy.
Check.
Assassinate the president.
Check. Yeah. Okay.
Other countries are looking at us right now. And they're like, man, the
yeah,
United States is kind of pussy.
Yeah.
We could do this stuff.
What else you got?
That was it. Just life.
I'm glad I don't even need an introduction on the show anymore. Thank you. Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. He's just skipped that.
The most hated.
I'm in. Yeah.
Dave.
Most hated. I'm trying to get media pass for the Carson's Capital City Rodeo coming up. They haven't responded to me, so I'm just going to show up and do my thing.
We'll just sit at Walmart and shoot from there.
Sit at Walmart?
Get on the rooftop over there.
Over by King Buffet or whatever.
Yeah. I guarantee you have a harder time getting on the King Buffet
100%.
And shoot some photos down to Fuji Park.
Yeah.
Than homie did to get on that roof to shoot Dawn.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Nah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Last rodeo we were at, people were just walking around anywhere. So I was just trying to cover, always cover my eye on whatever I could.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've been sick, been busy. Getting a new studio soon.
Nice.
Probably October-ish.
Very cool.
I did have a comment. Thank you for the comment, by the way, saying, hey, spend $20. Get some posters or something. Spicing up the place.
Oh, very good.
So, I guess they don't like my Dad of the Year award up here or anything.
Yeah.
I'll take your advice. Let me go buy some Justin Bieber posters and Britney Spears and shit, and I'll post them up there. But
there you go.
But no, I am
anymore. You should just be able to throw a filter up behind us, and you know,
I will. I am moving. Have a new studio in October.
Dude, I'm kind of pumped.
But
it's like gonna be one of those things where I'm pumped.
Yeah.
For what you're doing,
you should be pumped.
Yeah, I'll just be there.
But also, with that being said, it's not the studio ain't gonna build itself.
Yes.
In a week, so you know, by the end of the year, I'll have a really good setup where I plan to, like, if someone needs to rent out a studio space or whatever, then I'll have everything ready. People can come in, shoot their podcast. I could edit it for you, extra cost, or you know, just use all the equipment and then you get your footage, go home and do your own thing. But that's like my plan.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'll have that. So it'll be a legit, everything's gonna be legit, everything. So I'll save my $20 today and not put posters up here. So you're gonna have to see this background for a little bit longer. But I appreciate the comment.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's fantastic news. New studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited, dude.
You can do photography stuff too?
Yeah, I'll probably have a wall that because I got stands like that with the backdrop, with the paper.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
you got
I'll
seamless stuff.
Yeah, so I'll have some like backdrops just ready so you can
That's
just
cool.
pull them down and take some photos.
Right on. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Should be big enough. I have I'll have to show you, but yeah, it's gonna be, it's like two spots basically. The front spot, the middle is like, there'll be like a hangout, refreshments, bathroom type area.
Yeah,
and then
we'll call it the man cave.
Kinda. And then the back spot will be the office studio.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's
The front part will be like the gym.
Okay. All right.
Gym, all that.
Yeah.
Little moto garage.
You'll have to get like a Cam. You know who Cam Haynes is?
Cam Haynes?
Yeah.
No.
He's a Under Armour sponsored like athlete. He does archery. He's got his like own archery stuff.
okay.
You know, like whatever the most popular bow hunting brand is. They like make a Cam Haynes edition of their stuff.
okay.
He does a podcast and it's like run, lift, shoot is his thing. So they'll go run,
Shit.
they'll lift, shoot, and then do a podcast after.
Uh-huh.
Like that's gonna be your thing. Just
Yeah.
a lift and a potty.
Yep. No, it should be good. I'm excited. But like I said, it all you get excited. And I've been looking at everything. I'm like, how do I want to do it? But once I get in there, I'll be able to see exactly what I want to do. But then comes the work of actually putting it all together.
That's part of the fun though.
That is part of the fun, but it also takes time.
Yeah.
So,
Design, think it out real clear.
Exactly. So that's the thing. You got to make it like universal for like a bunch of different things.
Or
like
see
this.
if you can get like, because you're going to put up walls. Like, is this all one big space right now? They're going to divide?
No, there's walls already.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, maybe you think about even having like adjustable walls, like almost like barn doors that are, that just go deep wise. So you can just change the size of rooms or something. That'd be pretty sick.
No, yeah. The rooms, yeah, they're already.
Okay. All right. Well, then part of it's made up for you. I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
question of, do you want to make some windows or something,
I think there's already windows in there.
Holy shit. Okay. From room to room? So you can like see who's
No.
in the gym?
No, you can see outside.
Okay.
Should be good, dude. I was even thinking in the gym part. I'll like have to show you, but like putting like a bed in there, like a futon type deal. So
yeah,
if you and the lady need to come over and stay the
Oh
night.
yeah, if I get too ripped up one night, which
you don't.
Yeah, I was like, at this point, I drink about as much as you do. I'm like, if I have a beer, it's like, ooh, watch out.
Yeah, but yeah, and then you can wake up, cold plunge.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Gym.
This is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I got the whole setup, dude.
I know. I think we're both kind of on like a little health kick at this point because I'm trying to get my diet. I've been going to the gym 5-6 times a week and hitting the diet, except when I, right now it's summer, so it's like every other weekend. It's like someone's like, oh, it's barbecue, and then they're like, cookies.
Well, you could eat the meat, but don't eat the cookies.
So I'm working on that, but yeah, sounds like a good setup to me.
Yeah, I'm excited. But like I said, it won't be till October-ish.
Right.
But Biden, you have till September. Drop down the rates or else.
Right. Yeah, let's go. What else is going on? I hate to bring it back to kind of politics, but this was huge in my world because I was like Elon Musk. I follow him a lot because he always has some like thought-provoking shit to say,
Well, of course he does.
And
You see, he almost got assassinated twice. He said,
no.
Hey, how do you follow him? You didn't see
Well, I follow some of his stuff. I pick up what I can.
that. Right after that stuff happened, he was saying how there was 2 attempts on his life.
Oh shit. Anyway, I follow him, and like over the years, he's been pretty actually open about the fact that he's never voted anything but Democrat. He said, I've never voted for a Republican. I'm open to the idea, but they always kind of, my beliefs and the way I feel always kind of align with what the Democrat, position has been. And then if you're paying attention, he came out and endorsed Trump full scale and committed $45 million a month to like a PAC backing the Republican Party until the election, which is fucking insane. And then also one thing he said he wasn't doing years ago, he's now doing, which one is X or Twitter. He said, I was thinking about moving the office, but I won't do that because there's too many families and stuff here. And he's so tired of California, he's moving both SpaceX and Twitter out of California.
Well, that was because of what Newsom did.
Well, yeah, it's just a continuing thing. And he's like, you know what? I'm done. Meanwhile, he's also taken Tesla and he's moving it from Virginia to Texas. So everything's going to Texas, which huge windfall for Texas on that.
I wonder what happens to the Tesla plant here.
It still stays here. Because I know, but he's just talking about company headquarters, which is,
But I wonder like if that also like some of his stuff will move here instead of Texas.
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
But maybe he tries to take more out of California and just ramps up production here or something. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, that's just a huge thing, just like, wow. A lot of people have come out and spoken. I think there's a bunch of rappers that are backing Trump now. They're like, well,
that's what I'm saying. That was a genius move if it was a move on purpose.
Well, that was prior to him being the
but even after that. No, because Elon came out after that.
Right, but I'm talking about the rappers came out prior to that. There's been
because he's pardoned them. They were in jail and he pardoned them.
I dubbed the...
That's a fact.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Kodak Black, he was in jail or prison or whatever while he was in office, and then he pardoned him, so he got out of jail because of Trump. There was a couple rappers that he did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that because Kimmy K was at the White House?
Probably, but I think other people that he knew too.
It's so weird to me, like when these like celebrities go to the White House and say, "Hey, we really should look at releasing these people," or this. I'm like, okay, I guess it is what it is.
I think it depends on what it is, but like, like the conversation on how like when people are like in possession of drugs nowadays, and they get like all this time or they're still in prison, and now all of a sudden marijuana is legal. Right, like in a bunch of places and stuff like that. So,
that's a tough one, man. It's like, well, they broke the law. I'm like, but that's no longer illegal. What do you do? I don't know.
So now there's there's a distillery down the street selling weed like I was, but they're getting paid for it.
Right.
They're legal, and I got in prison for
because it was
years.
A felony in Nevada for a long time.
Yeah,
but
yeah, a lot of people are coming out since he got shot too. So it's that's why I say if it was on their part, that was a good move, because now everyone's like, they love him. They love him even more. He took a bullet for us, even though it was unintentional.
Right. It's
not like he was like, there's that bullet, let me take that for you.
Here you go. Yeah. Lend him an ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is up? Here, Boeing's latest gaffe.
Nope.
2 astronauts are stuck in the International Space Station.
Oh, it
keeps getting delayed because something malfunctioned with the Boeing equipment. There's that name again. We've had aircraft with problems, and now they're in space and they're trying to get home, and they keep delaying it.
Well, it's probably the astronauts. They're like, what just shut? Oh, that was a Boeing? No, send that
we're
back.
good. Send a different one, please.
Send a different
we'll
one.
wait for the next cab.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of following that. Apparently there's some kind of LiDAR technology they've been using to kind of do landscapes of the moon, and they found this fucking like enormous cave on the moon. So I'm kind of pumped to hear that that's going on. Anyone that's listened to my podcast knows that my co-host is a huge moon landing denier. I'm up in the air. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if one day it came to true that, yeah, we never landed there. But the problem is like, I asked him outright, I'm like, so if we land on the moon again and they can show you exactly where they landed and everything's still there, you're going to believe it? Nope. I'm like, all right, well.
Yeah. Your co-host is kind of just a hater on everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's very true. But it's like one of those things, once you're in the conspiracy hole, it's like even proof won't be proof.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, all right.
Yeah. But nowadays it is hard with everything. But that brought me to I don't know if it went viral or not, but there was this chick on TikTok, and she was talking about 3 things she wants to see from NASA in order for her to change her mind of being a flat earther.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget it.
Oh, there's a whole new level. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not new, but
she's like your co-host saying like, or what you were just trying to tell your co-host, like, what if there's proof? So she's actually saying like, show me these 3 things. And then I will say, hey, you know what? The Earth is round.
But that's what they say, because I'm like, he's like, I just need a photo. And I'm like, so if we land on the moon and they can show you where it was and the footprints are still there, no, I'm not going to believe it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, so photos like I do to get.
So the last one, I don't remember exactly what the first 2 were, but the last one, she says, NASA, if you can provide me a photo from outer space with a ship directly below us, upside down, then I will believe the Earth is flat.
What?
So this is the Earth.
Okay.
She's looking at it right here.
Yeah.
And she wants a ship down here.
Does she not understand the scale?
Yeah. Upside down, floating upside down, and then another ship over here, right side up.
Okay.
Because that's how it's supposed to work, right?
Well, if it's flat, isn't there still 2 sides?
No, because if it's flat, it would just be...
Yeah, but there's a top and a bottom.
The bottom is dirt. Wouldn't it be dirt?
I mean, I could see the logic in someone that believed that the Earth was flat, but there's got to be something underneath it, right? Or are you going to tell me that there's no such thing as space? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
If you're asking a flat earther, like, so it's either a ball, right? Like a sphere, or a coin. Which one is it? Either way, there's 2 sides.
Yeah.
So one side's up, one side's down, in their logic.
Yeah.
Like, so what good is
probably
that?
The same physics don't work. So like a car couldn't go, you'd fall off is the point, right?
Okay.
So like once you got to the edge of the flat Earth, you'd fall off and then you'd die. Like you just float into whatever. But on our Earth, there's gravity. So if you go from here and you travel here, you're not gonna fall off the Earth, right?
I mean,
and then the way you travel, like gravity's keeping you on like the water and stuff like that. So yeah, you could be floating upside down over here, but like it's right set up to you because it's called gravity.
Yeah.
You know? But she wants to see that, and I'm like, dude, that's gonna be an amazing photo. I don't know how they get that.
You can't.
You have to.
You'd have to stitch photos together.
Well, no, you'd have to get a boat that's like bigger than Earth to be able to show.
Yeah, the scale.
Yeah, the scale.
Like if you get back far enough to see Earth, you're not going to be able to see
a little boat,
a ship, or a space.
Yeah.
A space shuttle or whatever. Doesn't work like that. So they should just send her a picture, like take a picture of a marble with the things up there, and then change the marble to Earth and send it to her. Like, here you go.
Yeah, I like it was funny, and some of the reactions I saw were like pretty funny. But I'm like, man, that's why we are where we're at this time in our country, because people.
Do you think AI is it just kind of along the same terms here? Do you think AI is like a bigger threat to humanity than good? No.
Nah.
Okay. I was just curious. I had a conversation with someone recently, and it kind of relates back to Elon Musk and whatnot, but it came out, I was like, what?
Well,
like, oh yeah, well, worried about AI and what it's going to do to humanity, and
what is it going to do to humanity?
Well, I don't know. You know,
robots?
We don't know, because I think there's going to be this huge step that has to be made for everyone's, a typical person's vision of what AI will be, a robot that you can't really tell it's a human or not. There's got to be this huge step made where we have like a conscience, right? And we can make decisions, we can do math problems, but we can also react to the immediate environment around us based on our experience. That seems to be like the big step where we can't really get past with AI at this point. Now, granted, things are moving extremely fast. Yeah. So things that we weren't able to do last year that seemed 10 years away, all of a sudden seem like they're going to be done next week. But just interacting with the environment around you and adapting, like AI can look back through the internet and see everything and come up with an answer. it can't yet look at your environment around you and know how to act appropriately.
Right.
You know, so that's a big thing. But someone I was talking to was like, well, you know, AI is going to be a big thing. You know, it poses a huge threat.
But in what way is my question?
Well, I mean, scams, you know, there's always new ways for scams. I mean, maybe if you really want to go to the super extreme robots that could take over humanity. Elon Musk has been outspoken about that. Like, it poses a huge threat to us, which is one of the reasons why he left OpenAI.
What, robots?
No, just their lack of interest in keeping safety first. Stuff like that.
I mean, there'll be a lot of stuff that, I mean, the scams nowadays, or even the other day I got a call from the sheriff's office. Actually, last podcast I did, Megan was here, and her husband is a sheriff or something like that somewhere. And I put her on speakerphone and she was listening. And the guy was like, hey, you missed jury duty or
jury duty, right? I got the same call.
And I was like, nah, I didn't get nothing. He's like, yeah, but that's why you're being cited, blah, blah, blah. I'm all, what's your name? And he's all, officer or whatever. I'm all, what's your badge number? And he gave me a badge number. And I don't know what badge number are, how many numbers and shit. So I'm like, all right. And I'm like, I kept asking him questions. And then I think the guy got kind of flustered because he said something about like, you could call, or we'll have Patty talk to you and you can give her credit card number. I'm all right, well, send me to Patty.
Yeah.
And then he hung up. And then I called the number and it was the sheriff. And I was like, oh.
And that's the craziest part. The number shows up as the sheriff's office. If you look it up, you're like,
So I was like, oh, hey, someone just called me from your number and said that there were this, and this. And she's like, yeah, we are the police office here. And we would never call you. So people don't get scammed.
Yeah.
They said they would never call you if you have any warrants or anything like that. That's stupid.
Yeah.
So they would never call you for that. So don't fall for it. She's like, you did the right thing to calling us and let us know. A lot of people have called us. It's not the first time. And that was it, you know? So, but yeah, scams will get even crazier because now, you know, your mom's going to call you and say, hey,
there's been that. Yeah.
I need $200 and stuff like that. That's why I suggest, and I'm going to be doing this with my kids, like having a safe word or phrase. And I know people already do that. You know, someone comes to the door, hey, I forgot my keys, open up the door, and your kid's like, oh, okay. And then it's someone just using a phone with your voice, you know?
Right.
When they could just be like, well, what's the safe word? Oh, I don't know. Like, that deters that. So if you could do that also, so you could, on the phone call, like you have it with your different family members and stuff like that. Oh, hey, Dave, this is your mom. And you're like, oh, you know, I just broke my foot. Like, I need money or else, you know, whatever. I'm going to the hospital right now. Can you wire me some money? And you're like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe you're like, nah, fuck you, mom. I ain't gonna give you shit.
Yeah. So the scary part is that the scam you were talking about was like they called you from the sheriff department's phone number.
Yeah.
Like that I've heard no one's had a call where it's their mom's phone number showing up yet.
Uh-huh.
You know, I say yet. Because they're always calling from a number that's not recognized, and it's like, well, why are you on this phone? Yeah. What's up with that? And a safe word is very beneficial, and also just secondary verification on all your accounts will save your ass every time. I don't know if you do it. I started doing it with everything. I don't know if anyone's heard that AT&T, pretty much all their users got released in a hack recently, and then they paid one of the hackers $300,000 to delete the files.
They got all your nudes.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, first off, you're dealing with hackers, so okay, it's weird that, you know, so many hundreds of millions of people just had all their data stolen, and then the company only paid this person $300,000 to get that file deleted. But just because one person deletes the file doesn't mean the files aren't somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, it was weird because did you see that at all?
No, I didn't look into it because I don't have AT&T.
So,
I'm a loser.
Well, I'm just reading about it, you know, seeing what's going on. And so what happened was there was a second hacker who basically acted as like the go-between.
Oh, okay.
Like the freaking agent between, you know, as if you're buying a house or something. Like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We'll do it like this. And so he's in contact with AT&T and the hacker that stole all the stuff, or part of the hacker group that stole the stuff. Yeah, I have access to this cloud file, and he did delete it. And it's like, I mean, it takes nothing just to make a copy anymore. Like, I mean, in fact, when they stole the information, it probably went to 3 different places. So, He's like, whatever. Anyway, all their shit got stolen. So, usernames and passwords and shit are all out there. And so secondary verification takes nothing with your phone anymore.
So I had another one. It was, you save your passwords on your computer and stuff.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, my computer told me, oh, one of these passwords were compromised or whatever. So I already knew. So I was like, all right, whatever. I think it was an account that I don't even use anymore. So it's like, I don't really care. All of a sudden, one day I got an email to me and it said, hey, we have personal information from your phone. Videos of you doing naughty things and blah, blah, blah. We're going to send this to all your family members, every contact in your phone and stuff like that. We got it through having this password. And it was my password. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, okay. And then it's like, don't even respond to this. It doesn't matter. Or, send Bitcoin to this or whatever. So I'm like, so now I get them all the time. And it's like, dude, how do you not get the point? Like, you haven't caught me.
Yeah. Well, they're just blanket emails. They just send it to all the addresses they have.
Well, no, because it was my password.
Well, right. But I mean, you can just extract, like, we're at a point now where you can just have like an Excel spreadsheet and code just a little bit and just tell it, for this user, send this email.
Yeah.
And it'll just take the slots out of like this Excel sheet and put it on an email, and it knows the next email goes for this one. So they just change the name and the password, and then they could send it to 20,000 emails with 2 clicks.
But I'm saying, like, it gets to me, and then anyone else, they'd be like, oh shit, that really is my password.
Yeah.
They really hacked me. And it's like, I already knew that someone got the password of one of my accounts for whatever reason, but they obviously couldn't get into it because they would have done something. But it's just that they got the actual password so they could like put it in an email and tell me, this is your password. So now all your stuff's compromised because we logged into your phone. And it's like, well, that's not even a password for my phone. So you know what I mean? But people don't think like that. They panic and they'll be like, oh shit, if they got Bitcoin, that's what they're going to do. They're going to send it to this person, So the scams are never going to stop. They're only going to get worse and stuff, but just use common sense. Like, don't be an idiot.
Right. The people I feel the worst for are like aging populations because they didn't grow up with the same technology.
They'll age out of it.
So like, there's just, they're just not as adept to using technology. Like to me, it's like super obvious. If I get a fishy email, the first thing I do is I just click on the sender to actually see the real email address. I'm like, bullshit, like older generations don't even know about that. And that's like the first line of defense. Like, who's this? Okay, well, I'm just going to ignore that.
Yeah. But as far as like, I don't know, as far as the only way I see it like being, I get what you're asking, but like we'll work around it and we'll figure it out. But yeah, if they start making like robots and they're all AI and they're stronger than us and they could rebuild themselves or fix themselves without having to use like human mechanics to work on them, then they'll probably take over the world and kill us all and stuff like that. But other than that, like, AI is AI. Like,
right. I'm always on the stance of we need to continue pressing technology farther, because if we don't, like, I'm always like I hate to sound like a movie right now, but there's always like this competition between like good and evil. The less we do, the farther ahead evil is going to get, right? Like people that are scamming, they're always looking at, and maybe they can't create something better than what's already out there, but they're going to learn how to hack it better. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if we're not progressing in technology, they're just going to catch up closer and closer to the front lines of everything.
Yeah.
So,
but if we're progressing technology, we're progressing their technology as well.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like, they get, like, if you look at yesterday's technology, credit cards, for example, like what used to be cutting edge technology, safety and stuff is now easily hacked with, like, I don't know if you saw, but recently in Carson City, there's like a one of those fake ATM or card information
skimmers.
Skimmer was put over the top of, like, at a gas station or something.
No, it was at a restaurant that we go to.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Woo! Where was that?
My question is...
is that the taco shop?
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
My question is, there's a cashier there.
Yeah.
How someone walk in and put that...
Yeah, I don't know.
If it wasn't someone that works there.
That's interesting, because I thought about that too. I'm like, well, it can be inside kind of deal. But to what I was saying was, that was still the insert type, right? Well, the newest technology is tap. So like
yeah.
I had to tell my mom like a week ago because she was like, oh, well, I do this. I'm like, Mom, okay, first off, use your credit card for everything because they give you the best fraud protection. If you use a debit card, you got 3 days to dispute that shit if you use a PIN code because, well, it's a PIN code. It's supposed to be your secret number if someone gets it. If you use a credit card, this is for everyone listening as well. I think you have up to 30 days to dispute that charge, in which usually any decent credit card company gives you some protection against that stuff. Second off, those card skimmers are only good if you insert, right? So that's like example of progressing technology and where they're at. So like they're at a point where they can steal things pretty easily now if you're inserting, whereas if you're tapping, that technology doesn't exist.
I love inserting though.
I mean, hopefully no one steals that insert.
Yeah. You know what's so funny about that is all the comments or the article you're talking about. They said, we don't know the establishment or whatever. And they had the photo of the skimmer or whatever. Yeah. And the people were like, dude, it says it right there on the thing. It's La Hacienda.
Oh, God.
They're like, I think the article didn't want to throw them under the bus. Right. And say it, but they had to show the photo of what it looked like. And on there, it said like La Hacienda. Like,
so that was at a checker, like the front check stand then. Yeah. Because I remember the actual taco shop only has one of those old style credit cards. It's still tap, but it's like one of the small ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was at the register.
Okay.
And people were like, dude, it says it right there.
That's so funny. I didn't look at the photo long enough.
People were like, oh, well, I think they commented. And they're like, oh, well, the Carson City Police Department didn't clarify where it was or whatever. But now that you guys are pointing it out, I guess it is from there. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, dude. So that makes it, it's an inside job. So you guys didn't want to say it.
Well, that makes more sense, though, that it's right there. Because, I mean, some of those stations get a little unattended. So, I mean, there's some room for
Yeah, but there's also cameras in there. They could have seen who did it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen one of those in person? Like, I wonder how obvious it is. You know what I usually do at gas stations? I pull on them. Oh, do you? Yeah. Oh, nice.
I usually go to Costco, though.
Okay.
So Costco gas is a little bit cheaper than most places, but if I go somewhere where I don't know, I'll usually pull on it.
Okay.
Just because if
there's any wiggle or anything.
If I pull on it and it falls off, then it's not supposed to be there. Yeah. So I'll usually do that kind of stuff. But at a grocery store, I'm not over there pulling it.
Yeah. Hey, let me check this thing out.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's like that's crazy.
That's why you just tap.
Can I piss you off real quick?
Yeah.
Went to Jimmy John's yesterday.
I appreciate you asking, by the way. It's very thoughtful.
I treat my guests good. I went to Jimmy John's yesterday. I insert, tip option comes up.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Tip option comes up. 10%, 15%, 20%.
Wow.
No skip.
No skip?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
But it had another. Or other.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, maybe under other, there's a prompt where I could push no thanks.
Yeah.
Push other. It gave me the option to put in manually how much.
Yeah, so you put 0, 0, 0, 0.
No, so I put in $1.
Yeah.
And then they get my order.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's the chips? And I ordered 2 sandwiches because for the kids. They're like, no, you didn't. I'm like, yes, I did. But all right, let's do this again.
Yeah.
So they did it again. So this time, other, and I pushed 0, 0, 0 and enter, and it worked. But I'm like, dude, they would have been pissed right here.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even give you the option to opt out of it.
Right.
Like, I've never seen that before. It's usually like tip or you say no thanks or whatever. Like, or, whatever. Skip. It didn't even give you that. It just gave you the option of other. And then, like, if you're not really thinking, you're on the spot, the chick's holding it right there. You're like, oh, shit. So I just put like $1, but I don't want to tip you.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't mind. Like, I don't mind throwing them $1, but I'm always, especially like sandwich shops, anywhere like that. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but minimum wage has gone up like $5 in the past 5 or 6 years.
You can see how mad he's getting.
Yeah. I'm like, that's what the job is. It's a minimum wage job. I don't need to tip you. If I go to a restaurant, that's more of like where a tip comes in because there's actual service and stuff. And anymore, it's like, since COVID, service sucks. So when I get someone that's really good, I'm like, you're getting 20+% over here. But outside of that,
my frustration with it is like the option. So if the option to skip is there, then sometimes I'll leave a tip. I'll leave 10% or whatever. It doesn't really matter.
I don't mind throwing them $1, but when they start telling you, like, you have to go out of your way to find the $1 or $0.
That's when I don't want to leave anything. Yeah, it pisses me off.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
That's Jimmy John's. Freaky Fast and is no longer Freaky
Well, they
Fast.
had, they had that special sandwich. I don't remember what it was now. Some kind of roast beef with something else on it, that was really good. Their other sandwiches are kind of just too plain for me. I'm like, they're trying to do the Freaky Fast thing, which is fine, but I'm like, eh.
But I like it because their bread is so good.
Yeah, I do need to get the Jersey Mike's. That's just opened.
Yeah.
Gonna try some of that.
Yeah. Well, Dave, thanks for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure. Always. Can't wait to see the new studio.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm sure I'll be back before then anyway.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait a few months for that one.
Yeah. But I'll be at the studio being like, hey, is this vacant yet? I'm trying to get some...
Can I go in for inspections on Monday?
Okay. Very good. Very good.
So everything's going forward with it, but yeah, it's just waiting kind of.
Yeah.
And then that's all there is. And, but I figured bring out an episode this week. A lot of crazy stuff has been happening, and it's just weird that I haven't seen many people really talk about it too much.
I feel like this is going to be the longest 3 months of our lives right now. Just kind of like the building of this election cycle, and I'm surprised what's a betting Game Kings doesn't have bets going on right now. I guess you couldn't bet against someone's life, but in my mind I'm like, okay, is one of these guys going to die before the election? That should be an over-under, just, 50-50 on that. Will Biden step aside? Will he... I'm only going to say of natural causes, even though I don't put it past some of these people.
But how old is he?
He's 80, 81.
Okay, but I just went... I don't know if it was you or whoever we were talking to, but... So he's 80, 81.
Yeah.
Donald's not that much younger.
No. He's same age, but he looks a lot better.
No. He's not the same age.
He's within a year or two. Yeah.
I don't know if he's that.
Yeah, come on.
I think he's 76. Point being, he's pretty up there too, though.
Oh, no, he's right there with him.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Put in a hold is Big Dick Daddy Don.
How old is Big Dick Daddy Don? 78. So he's right there. Okay. I was just talking to someone. Ironically, the person I was talking to, you'll know who it is 80 years old as well. I'm like, I've never imagined a place where we're going into a presidential race where all this shit's going on, and at any morning we're gonna get the news that one of these fuckers died anyway. I'm talking to a guy that's 80. I'm like, well, sorry to say it, but that's the reality. I was like, yeah, but your lifeline goes into the 90s, no problem. Yeah.
Well, did you see that conference or whatever the hell you call it that he had after he got shot?
No.
So that was on Monday or something.
Oh, the RNC? Yeah.
And they had some vet there talking. Couldn't even read. It's like, dude, don't. And that makes him look like you're trying to make him read what you're trying to say.
Right.
Not what he's actually trying to say. But whatever. Not the point. Point is, I'm pretty sure he said he was 98 years old.
Oh, yeah, the dude, he said he's going to re-enlist if Trump got elected again. I didn't watch any of it. I just saw the headline or something.
Hey, he was up there.
I was like, geez.
He was up there speaking decently and, stuff like that. So, hey, age is only a number. It depends on who it is.
I mean, you could look at it a couple ways, but good or bad, I don't think there's been a more exciting time to be alive.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be alive.
Yeah, good times. We'll see you next week.
Yeah,
someone will be here. Maybe me and Meg can team it again. Come over here and all of us get on there. That was fun.
Jesus Christ. What did you say?
Sorry, thanks. Not like that. Come on now.
Okay.
We're all married. Chill.
True.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right.
I'm done. Bye, guys. Thanks.
See ya.